Hey guys, it's Danny here. Today I'm going to talk a little bit about why I am still on Androgel because, as I said, I'm going to post my other videos, but in my past videos I was talking about almost every single time how I wanted to switch over to Androgel at my year marker. And I went to that doctor's appointment, and I'm going to share with you what happened. So I have always had an issue with taking shots, and it wasn't that I was afraid of them, it was more the fact that every time I would take them, for whatever reason, I would pass out. And it wasn't, honest to God, I mean, after you know that you're going to go into a doctor's appointment and you're going to pass out and probably have a seizure and maybe lose your bladder and piss everywhere, you start getting freaked out about going in. So I don't want to say I was freaked out by the shots, I was freaked out about what could happen, and this has been going on since I was younger. So when I started transitioning, I knew that I was going to have to get blood draws all the time, or every 3 months, and I ended up doing it, and I ended up not passing out for the first time ever. Howard Brown actually took a lot of care of me, that's where I go, and they did a very, very good job. And so, however, the past 2 times, so it was like pretty much every time I went this year, I had to have a blood draw, and I passed out. And so it was like the 2 times. They were like, all right, it's a little weird. So going into this, I knew, okay, listen, the past 2 times I didn't even have a good one. I don't even know if she's going to approve me to be on shots, although I feel like I can do it, or I can have somebody else do it. I'm friends with a bunch of nurses. There's a nursing school right down the street that all my friends are going to. So anyway, I have a lot of people who can help me with this. I just want to get it done. I also want to see for myself if shots are really the better route to go. So I walk into the room, hyper nervous, feel like I'm more nervous than usual. Doctor sits down, talked to me, asked me what's new. I was like, listen, what's subcutaneous shots? And she's like, here it is, gonna bring a doctor in. You want to try them out today? Just like that. And I was like, yeah, let's do it, because I'm feeling ballsy and I'm gonna try it. So a couple things happen here. Nurse comes in, I'm getting nervous, she talks me through it, she's like, hey, you can do it. She doesn't do it first, I do. Tells me I'm gonna get it in my stomach. So now I'm like, oh, okay, I thought it was gonna be my thigh, but okay. Or butt. I could do butt. So I grab the thickest part and I'm like, alright, this sucks. And I'm like, the needle was like this. Needle was like this. Look at my thumb. Get it all the way in, push it all the way in deep. She's like, okay, now you gotta push this top. I had no problems with this, and usually at this point, the needle went in, I pushed it all the way in, I got it in, she's like, you're doing really, really good. Like, I'm not passing out. Then I'm waiting, and she's like, you have to push the top down to push the needle in. My thumb couldn't reach, it was way longer, and I have the world's tiniest thumb. So I'm trying to figure out how not to jiggle this needle inside me, but I end up moving this needle like this, pretty much inside me, and I'm like, ugh. And, from there, lady's like right here, I'm looking at her, I have the needle in my hand, keep trying to move my hand, but I'm now starting to feel I'm gonna pass out, grab her by the shoulder to look at her, I'm going down. Nurse was freaked out. I don't know if you've ever been told, like, hey, I'm gonna pass out right now, but I was like, yeah, this is gonna happen, and I pass out. With the needle inside, never got the injection. I literally did the hardest part, but I couldn't press my finger down because I couldn't reach my stupid thumb without having to move my hand and jiggle the entire thing. So I passed out, and here's the thing, I'm very confident that I can actually do this and get to a point where I'm comfortable doing it, and if I had my own time and just relaxed and just kind of breathed and didn't, I don't know. So I'm upset with myself. I now come to, I have my doctor on top of me, she's about to do CPR, because apparently this was just like the weirdest pass out thing I've had there. And I couldn't feel my hands when I woke up. And, that sucked. So I'm sitting there, and my doctor's real freaked out, and now I'm freaked out. I'm like, hey, how you doing? Now cracking jokes. But I'm still freaked out, and they're threatening to, they're like, hey, you should call, the ambulance, because that's what they should do in protocol, but I've already said, don't call this, because I won't, this happens every time my doctor comes in, she's like, don't call the ambulance, he's okay, everything's gonna be great, but I started telling her my hands, I couldn't feel them, and that she monitored me for a while, they went ice cold, I ended up getting anything, feeling back after pretty much, I probably should have went right away, but I kept turning it down. But I got most feeling back after 40 minutes, 30 minutes or so, and my hands hurt. Like I felt like I crushed them for the rest of the day. And after that, I was having a lot of weakness in my arm, and I went back to her, called her, and she's like, listen, you know, I probably should have mentioned this earlier. My resting heart rate has always been super, super low. So and when I say super low, it's been at 48 and 50, and I'm not an athlete. Or is that my active? I don't know. It was like where it shouldn't be. It was supposed to, everybody else has it like at 80s or 60s or whatever, something like that. And I'm not a doctor, so I might be saying this all wrong, but for what I was told by my doctor, who did a little bit more research into my past history of when I passed out and what happened and what my levels were, she's like, you need to get to a cardiologist, because I think it's something to do with how low your blood pressure is. And so basically what we came up with was, since my blood pressure just kind of sitting is at a 52 or a 48, when I do things that drop my blood pressure even further, I go unconscious. And so we're starting to think that even in the past, maybe that wasn't a seizure, I don't know. So I went to, I'm trying to call around, ask for doctors. That kind of happened recently. Got to go get my heart checked. And that's kind of my next, on to the next one. But that is why Androgel is the best for me. It's not necessarily that like I said, I feel like I could do the shots. It's really not the pain thing. It's more that no matter what I do, I cannot get my heart rate up enough to allow it to go down as much as it does when I get shots or anything like that. So yeah, that's a little bit about why I'm still on Androgel. And like I said, I'm happy. As of recently, I found that these changes are coming the way I want them to come. My voice, I wish, was deeper, but it's happening. I think it's cracking. But anyway, this is not a transition video. This is why I chose to stay on Androgel, and I'm actually super happy with it. And I think it's important for I feel like there's such a stigma against Androgel, and there's just not enough people who have the correct information, and they always feel that it goes slower. And I might have said it might go slower, because yes, it does, but at the same time, everybody's different, and there's been people who, like, it's been pretty consistent with them. You can't compare yourself. How about we start there? You cannot compare yourself with other people, because you're not going to do puberty in the same way that they do puberty. So this is your second puberty. This works, guys. If you don't want to take shots, it works for me. So don't knock it until you try it. Definitely recommend it. But that is also why I'm not on it. So if there's some of you out there who really can't handle needles, it's fine. And if you're like, damn it, this is the only option, don't say damn it, dude. This is working. And I only have, positive things to say. And I think an important part of this transition is that you have to be really positive with yourself, and you have to be your own biggest fan kind of thing. And you're not gonna get that out of Androgel. You're not gonna get that self-confidence. I mean, you might once you start transitioning, that might help your confidence, but it's not like this gift it's going to give you. So I hope this kind of opens some people's mind, that also, like, for those of you who are like, oh, you can't handle the shots, like, some people really don't have a choice. To me personally, I don't want to keep passing out and staying unconscious for long periods of time, because that's not good. And this is an easy way to kind of forego all that. So anyway, if you guys have any questions, comments, please leave them, subscribe, let us know how we're doing. I'd love to hear from all of you, your experiences, and I hope everybody has a great rest of your day.